First of all, I would like to congratulate everyone that participated. This was indeed a very spirited fight. I would like to congratulate all the members of the NRM. Whether you succeeded or your win was delayed, I would like to congratulate you. We have so many factors. Every region is being affected differently. I'll talk about my area in Busonga, where we have this is something open. We have a political crisis. We have two forces. That's the Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga and Right Honorable Anita Among. As Busonga, as a region, we're saying we stand with our own. So that must have affected partly to the loss of some of my colleagues. But then also generally the whole country, that we as members of parliament, we have a lot of work that we do at the national level. So our people assume that we put a very big difference. We have some time that we are doing work at the center, and then those that are daily attending burials and functions tend to occupy space. So some people, this was their complaint. But then the other factor is that much as we strictly obeyed to use the registers, but this was not done. People were just lining up. I saw even on videos where people were counting kids. So the nature, some people would be recounted and turn back. So it was just some kind of a very disturbing situation. But away from that, we have learned a lot of it, and we hope that the tribunal that is being set will have to harmonize, reconcile, and answer these questions. So that's what has caused to some reduction in the numbers, especially to the members of the 11th Parliament. But I want to tell you that these elections were not the general elections. These were internal party elections. Would only call upon those that have not managed to get through, probably to unite and support the flag bearers, or else we shall have a great danger, because we might have a couple of independents in this parliament.
So, but given your position as spokesperson of the caucus?
Well, one is that we need to have proper time. We did not have enough time for campaigns. And most of my NRM members of parliament are designated on different committees, that during that time committees were functioning. So there's limited time for my members to interact. Two, we need to strictly follow the rules and guidelines. If it's register, we must follow the register. Then three also, I think the issue of lining up is quite sensitive, because there are some people that reluctantly refuse to go to vote because they said we cannot line up, we don't want to have hatred, we don't want to have conflicts. So I think moving forward we shall look at that nature of voting. Probably something else could be advised, either in the electoral college or we go back in the ballot box.
We have heard that sometimes the deep state works against the incumbents, that even the president, the PDM tour, was not promoting the MPs.
I don't by deep state, because where we are, this is an arm of government, parliament. So every member of parliament is within the deep state, unless the deep state depicts different from what I'm understanding. And then the president, while attending the parish governmental tour, this was initially his program as the chairman. It had nothing to do with members of parliament or leadership. If I went to Kagoma with a program and my colleague is not interested, then it has nothing. So whether the president did not promote, he was not there to promote candidates. He went to supervise and see where PDM has successfully helped people and where else he can add.
There are those that are not satisfied with the outcomes, citing several issues. What would be your take, especially for those who...
For my members of the NRM, we are into multi-party politics, where we have to abide and agree with the position of the people. But one, I just strongly hope and believe that the tribunal that has been set can reasonably answer these questions. Because if they just look at them and walk away, and then we should also look at reconciliation. So I call upon the office of the national chair to call these people. Otherwise, we may have, because there is no law that bars a colleague or any other person contest as an independent. Constitution, they have rights. But now for the party, I would appeal the leadership of the party to institute a reconciliation meeting. We may even see some members who are sitting MPs opt to support the opposition. That is likely. So the most important, as a caucus member and as a leader in the caucus, we are going to put suggestions so that we can have reconciliation, and the tribunals should be able to answer and satisfy these petitions. Njagala okusooka okuyozaayoza abantu bonna abenyigidde mu kalulu kano. Njagala okuyozaayoza ddala abo abawangudde flag, n'okuyozaayoza bannaffe abatawangudde nga mbazaamu amaanyi nti olugendo luno lwabadde luwanvu, olugendo lwabadde lw'amaanyi, naye tebaggwamu maanyi, tebaggwamu ssuubi. Kyensuubira nti bannaffe abo abatawangudde wagenda kubaawo omukisa okwogerezeganya. Ate naffe tulina akakiiko akatondeddwawo akagenda okwetegereza ensonga zino. Lwaki emivuyo, lwaki bano bagudde, lwaki okubba obululu, lwaki abantu tebakufolinze register. Era nsaba nti akakiiko ako kasobole okuddamu ebintu ebyo nga bisobola okumatiza abantu. Naye ekyo bwe kitaakolebwe tulaba nga waliwo obuzibu bw'amaanyi nnyo, naye njagala bonna bayozaayoza abaparticipatinze mu kalulu kano nti mukulike eyo, naye ensi tekomerwa leero. Ensonga y'e Busoga kino sobola kukyogera nga neerumamu. Tulinamu enjawukana. Tulinayo abawagira Right Honorable Anita Among Anet, waliwo abawagira Right Honorable Rebecca alitwala Kadaga, nze mwendi. Kakati nakyo kyabadde question, kubanga naffe tugamba nti e Busoga tugamba golirekera omwana omulingirira ku munwa. Tugamba nti Kadaga y'owaffe. Era ffe naffe kye twabaddeko nga tugamba bannange abantu abo batunulire, kubanga tetwagala region yaffe kusaanawo. So effect ya Right Honorable Kadaga ng'obadde obondeeteramu mu kumuwagira, eyo nayo yabadde ku nsonga nti abantu bagambye waayi kakati bwe batumanyi buvunaanyizibwa bwo butwakutuma eri komawo tulaano naffe tuziike abantu ku kyalo. Kakati okwo kusoomozebwa kw'amaanyi nnyo mu kibiina, era nga ffe tuli mu leadership ya caucus kitugenda kuteekawo okwogerezeganya, wabeerewo akakiiko akasisinkanya abantu bano, kubanga abantu bava mu bululu bataddemu ensimbi, balina obulumi, eriyo abamenyeddwa emitwe, abamenyeddwa emikono. Akakiiko kano kawuliziganye bammemba mu luzungu kye bayita reconciliation, basobole okulaba nga boogerezeganya nti munnange gwe bw'oba wawangudde flag si ye gwe osingayo obugezi, ate gwe wawanguddwa si ye gwe osingayo okuba nti olina maanyi. Naye tukoze tutya? Kubanga ekyo bwe kitaakolebwe ekijja kujjamu ekyogamba ekya independent, kubanga tewali tteeka liziyiza muntu yenna kwesimbawo ku bannamunigina. Eryo etteeka teriri omuntu akkirizibwa. Naye ekyo kyensuubira nti pate yange ennungi eri kutunuulira ensonga ezo, era yataddewo akakiiko k'abantu 7 okutunuulira ensonga ezo ezaleeteddemu emivuyo, era tusuubira nti zonna bajja kuba nga bazigonjoola.
The primaries, from generally looking at what has happened, has been a mixed bag. In other places, the elections went on successfully, smoothly, without any problem. Like, for example, in Otuke County, Otuke District, elections were smooth, there was no violence. In general, the whole of Laon sub-region, we didn't witness any skirmishes, so it was peaceful. It was peacefully conducted, and therefore I would want to say that the outcome of the primaries in Laon sub-region reflected the will of the people of Lango. Personally, we were 4 candidates, and I managed to be successful. The people of Otuke County trusted me with their votes, where I scored 58.3%. The one who followed me got 31%. But in other parts of the country, I've seen there has been serious defeat of the NRM members of parliament, and I would dare say it might even reach 80%, because in some other places there were total rejection. So it is something to reflect on as a party, but also as individuals, about our performance, not here, but I think where the people are. Most times people expect you to be in the villages, burying people, to make contributions, to have a beer party with them. Members of parliament are expected to sponsor students for school fees and many other things. The demand is enormous. So I think the population now need to separate what is the role of a member of parliament. If you want them in the villages, will they perform their work here? Or, because we do not have a budget as MPs, what they call constituency development budgets. It's not there, but they expect us to make a financial contribution to very many activities in the constituencies. So I think the voters are very annoyed. For whatever reason, I think you, the journalists, have to do a research and find out why were so many members of parliament defeated in the primaries. Is it a reflection of anger in the population? And for what reason, I can't tell. Because many of my colleagues really lost their position, lost the primaries. So we are looking forward to engage more with the country, with the population. And as a party, we must begin to review and see whether the service delivery has been done to the population, what we promised them that we will do, have we done them or not. I think it requires for self-reflection and as a party also to review our performance across the country. What surprised me running under NRM party for the first time was to quickly notice that the candidates are not given the results form at the polling station. The outcome of the results. Candidates are not given those, the verification forms. They're called the DR forms. The declaration forms are not given to candidates. So what I had to do was to hire a border in every village to escort the votes to the sub-county. Then I also had to hire borders from the sub-county to ferry, to follow the votes up to the district. So the financial implication is huge because you are not given a DR form. So I think one of the recommendations I would make is that we should try and have DR forms for all candidates so that I don't have to bother. The moment I've got a DR form, I just have to get the DR form and take note of it, so I have evidence of the outcome at the polling station. But there is only one form signed by the candidates' representatives at the polling station, and so you have now to follow and make sure nobody runs away with the forms, the DR forms, or it's changed on the way because now there are people hired to block, to intercept registrars on the way. So you need to hire your own people with several borders to follow the votes up to the sub-county, then another layer of people to the district. So you must have representation everywhere. If you can't manage and control your votes, then you are really in big trouble because people can maliciously change the DR forms on the way. That was a very big lesson that I learned so quickly. My name is Paul O'Mara, a member of parliament for Otuke County. The NRM constitution is subservient to the national constitution. So the national constitution guarantees every citizen to exercise their political rights without any inhibition. So in circumstances where a candidate felt that they were cheated in the open day, then they have a right to run as independents. the Constitution allows that, because if injustice were done, as I was explaining, that if I have to escort, I had to escort the votes from every 225 villages. So that is 225 motorcycles to escort the votes up to the sub-county. Then other more motorcycles to escort to the district. So if a candidate did not have financial muscle to manage that, then it means an opponent can easily change those DR forms on the way and you get defeated for nothing. So I would suggest that for those who have been unfairly cheated, then they have another chance to run as independents. There will be absolutely no problem with that.
First of all, this election, which is an NRM internal election, generally was peaceful despite some of the areas had challenges. As expected in politics, you can never have a peaceful election in Africa without, actually even in the world, without some few challenges here and there. But for example, in our area and in my constituency, the exercise was orderly and peaceful. We did not have any problem at all. That was an indication of political maturity, and which I think we need to emphasize on civic education before we carry out any form of election. People need to know what an election is all about and the kind of leaders we need to elect. It shouldn't be a do or die. And this was an in-house election. After these primaries, we have to come back together on the table as a party. So we don't need to fight each other. But the party has organs that will address those challenges.
Honorable, in terms of PLU, are you satisfied with the results that you've so far scored?
First of all, when we, as PLU, when our chairman told us to stand through the structures of NRM, we were campaigning on the ticket of NRM. And again, we are NRM, because PLU is not a political party. It is just a civic organization. But we can see the trend that the youth want to take an important role in the politics of this country. And most of our supporters are youth.
The voices that are starting to come up, especially those that lost, and they're advocating, some are saying they're coming as independents because they're not satisfied with what the outcomes of the results. What could be your message to these people?
Yes, one might be, there are some cases, there are instances where you can see there were challenges, but it's also not a good practice that when you lose, you again come as an independent. Because this was an internal election of the party, and it was an in-house election, and usually after electing, we go and face other political parties. So if our own decided to come as independents, to a certain extent, then they go against the norms of the party. And unless it has come out openly that there was a problem. Akarura kawedde twakayiseemu bulungi, yadde waliwo ebitundu ebitayiseemu bulungi. Ffe nga pate manyi nti pate yaffe erina structures ezijja kulongoosa ebyo bitatambudde bulungi, but generally ng'ewange ewaffe mu district ne mu constituency yaffe akalulu kaffe kabadde peaceful. Naye njagala kusaba abawagizi baffe mostly aba NRM, akalulu kano si kakufa na kuwona. kakunoonya abakulembeze betwagala bakulembere abantu baffe. N'olwekyo omuntu takiraba nti I either win or mpitemu basiiseemu then akalulu sijja kukakkiriza. So mbasaba nti ffenna tuli bakigombe kubanga bwe twegabanyaamu ekigombe kyaffe tuba kiwikeninga. Bwe tuba tukyayagala obuyinza as a party nga NRM tulina okukkiriza ekyo kinaaba kivudde mu byakulonda ne tutambula n'ekyo. Bwe waba waliwo challenges zonna oba waliwo ensonga yonna tugireete ku meeza tusobole okugirongoosa tutambule nga NRM. Wakati bw'ogenda okulaba parties ez'omu mawanga amalala ezeegabanyizaamu zifunye obuzibu mu by'okukulembera. Politics is about competition.
Honorable, nga mmwe ekisinde kya PLU mulimu amativu n'engeri gye mwapafominza mu kalulu kano?
Ababaka baffe abasinga abalinamu akasaayi ka PLU abasinga bayiseemu, abalala tebayiseemu, but era ffenna PLU ne NRM ffenna be bamu. Tuwaliwo njawulo y'amaanyi era tujja kusigala tukolera wamu okutuusa chairman waffe General Monsikini Rugaba kyanaatubuulira okukola era kye tujja okukola.
Olwo batandise amaloboozi agatandise okuvaayo nti gagenda kwesimbawo okuba Namuligi nga si bamativu n'engeri akalulu gye kakwatiddwamu bakakigobawo. Eyo nkola si nnungi nga pate kuba kati bw'oba ogenze mu kalulu n'oweesimba n'oba nga toyiseemu kujjako nga waliwo ekibaddewo nga kyamaanyi nnyo nga kikuwaliriza. N'ekyo bwe kiba nga si kyekyo twandigendedde ku nkola yaffe ya NRM. Omuntu bw'aba tayiseemu asapootinga oyo anaaba ayiseemu ku lw'obulungi lwa pate kuba bwe twegabanyaamu tuba tujja kuba nga twewikeninga. Jjukira kati tugenda kufeesinga political parties endala. N'olwekyo mbasaba twandisapootinze abo ababaka abayiseemu bwe babaawo ensonga zonna bazireete ku meeza tuziyitemu as a party so that tusigale nga tuli ekitoli ekya pate than okwegabanyaamu si kufana kuwona.